Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Outlook for December 2017 through February 2018. The contents of this presentation include a look at the recent weather. We'll take a look at our drought conditions and where we stand with that, where our current fuels are, what's happening with El Nino and La Nina, and where that is going to go this winter. We'll take a look at the expected weather through February, and finally finish with our fire potential outlook for December through February. So looking at temperatures over the past month, you can see from the image on the left, we've been quite far above normal for much of the Great Basin. Those are those orange and red colors that show those above normal temperatures for the month of November. The map on the right shows the departure of average for precipitation, and there's a pretty sharp divide between the northern and southern part of the Great Basin. November was very dry across the southern part of the Great Basin, with a fair amount of precipitation further north. As far as the drought monitor, we have moved into an area of abnormally dry to moderate drought across the southern part of the Great Basin, and that generally lines up with those areas that have not seen much precipitation over the past month. If we look at the outlook through the end of February, for portions of Utah, that drought is expected to persist or intensify. So what about our fuels? Currently, fuels are pretty dormant across the area as it is December. But you can see that, as you'd expect with the warmer and drier conditions across the south, fuels are the driest across the southern part of the Great Basin. So can El Nino or La Nina affect us this winter? This is something that we're always kind of talking about, how these large-scale weather patterns will affect us here in the Great Basin. Currently, we are seeing a weak La Nina signal. And this chart right here shows that La Nina is expected to continue through at least March. So you can see these 3 bars on the left, that takes us through March, and the tall blue bar is the probability of La Nina. So as we go through the spring, into the spring, that likelihood decreases, but it does look like through at least March, there's a better than average chance that we will continue to see those La Nina conditions. So what does that mean for the Great Basin? Typically in a La Nina, it will be cooler and wetter across the north and drier and warmer across the south. So if this does have a large impact on our winter precipitation, we will see that continuation of drier conditions across the south and moisture across the north. So we've looked at the drought, the weather, the live fuels, and the dead fuels. So what happens from here? What's the expectation? So our weather outlook through March shows continued forecast for wet conditions across the northern part of the Great Basin, drier across the south, and as far as temperature goes, December looks to be a little warmer than average across much of the Great Basin, with that trend decreasing into the spring. So this generally reflects that La Nina forecast with wetter conditions across the northern part of the Great Basin. So finally, putting all these pieces together, getting our final outlook, we are expecting normal activity across the entire Great Basin through February. Winter is very quiet across the Great Basin, and that is expected to be the case this year. As far as nationally, it looks like really the only area of interest is the south central portion of the United States, and the potential for fires increases moving into February and March across the southern and central parts of the area. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. The information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.